Hi there, welcome to Two Birds. I'm Fiona, and today's class is a 60-minute Vinyasa flow class designed to re-lengthen your muscles, build strength and recalibrate your spine. And for class today you'll need a yoga block and also a belt. It's not essential, but it'll be really helpful. And before we begin, I just want to say a huge thank you to all the Two Birds subscribers who have sent in their beautiful vistas, their views and landscapes from their part of the world, everywhere from Norway to Mexico. It's been so wonderful to see. So if you haven't already, jump over to the community tab on the Two Birds homepage to take a look, and if you feel inclined to share your view, go right ahead and email me there. Thanks for joining, everyone. I hope you're all keeping well. Namaste. And begin your practice comfortably seated, positioning yourself on a block or a blanket to help gently tilt your pelvis forward so you can lift tall through your low back and your knees can relax down toward the floor. And gently closing your eyes to assist with redirecting your attention into your body and away from your distractions. And initially just feel your energy and your effort soften and relax into this shape. And we'll start by very simply beginning to notice the shape change that occurs with your breath. You're observing your belly, your chest and upper back expanding on your inhale, and your body deflating and settling on your exhale. And with each breath, we're channeling our concentration. We're moving our awareness away from our thinking mind, our discursive thoughts, towards the present moment and the live action of our precious breath, its movement, its texture, perhaps its sound, and the ripple effect throughout our body. And taking 5 more steady, calibrated breaths. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. And taking 1 more deep breath in. As you exhale, drop your chin toward your chest, your eyes to the back of your eyelids. Gently blink the eyes open. And from here we'll move forward onto all fours into a tabletop position. And we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. Spreading out through your fingers, setting your hands up underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips, and stretching and spreading all your 10 toes back behind you. Gently arching the spine, letting your belly soften, lifting your gaze, opening your throat, breathing out, closing your throat toward your chin, swallowing up your belly in toward your spine. And just continue to move with your breath, letting your breath initiate your movement. So your breath becomes a little longer than your movement. Just breathing some space into your spine, beginning to mobilize the bones of your spine, Warm the shoulders, the wrists, the hips. Taking 2 more rounds in each direction. Taking your unhurried breath with you. And when you feel ready and on an exhale, let the buttocks drift back toward your heels and land in a child's pose. And keeping the arms reaching long, your little fingers perhaps touching the edges of your mat, so give yourself lots of room and space around your shoulders, the back of your neck. Rest your forehead to the floor. Breathe deep and wide into the back of your lungs. Allow your belly, your chest to soften between your thighs. And this is your rest pose. If you need to take a break at any time during class, anytime you need to do less, return to this posture and just return to the flow whenever you're ready. Creep your fingers a little further forward. Plant the hands firmly into the mat. And then just glide up onto all fours, preparing for downward dog, tucking the toes, lifting your hips, and making your way into your first downward facing dog. I like to keep a little bend in my knees here. Concentrate on lengthening and elongating your spine, side waist, through the reach of your arms. And then just start to pedal out through your heels, nice and slow, so there's no rush, no urgency. Feeling into the back seam of your body, noticing any places, any pockets in your body where you might feel tight or congested, and moving and gliding around in your body to find a little bit more space with your breath and your movement. And we'll take 2 more full cycles of breath here. Breathe in deep and breathe out long. And just settle in, heels heavy, fingers spread, bringing a little bit more weight into your index finger and thumb knuckles. And we're going to move through 3 rounds of sun salutes from downward facing dog. So just 3 vinyasas without stepping up. We'll take a deep breath in, shifting forward to a high push-up. Just pause for a moment. Shoulders over the wrists, your gaze lightly forward. Heels reaching back and the front of your thighs engaged. Take a deep breath in. And exhale slowly, knees, chest and chin to the floor. Melt down, stretch your toes back, engage your legs and take a really low cobra from here. Pause for an extra breath, your elbows tucking, almost brushing your side waist. Your gaze forward, back of your neck unwrinkled. And then as you exhale, chin in toward your chest, firm belly, roll on the knees, downward facing dog. And we'll do that twice more, just pick up the pace. Ripple forward to a high push-up. And exhale, knees, chest, chin to the floor, come all the way down. Your whole body engaged there as you feed your chest forward through your arms, coming up a little higher, Cobra pose. Exhale, firm belly, roll on the knees, downward facing dog. Stretch back through your heels, reach out through your arms. And as you breathe in, forward, high push-up. Knees, chest, chin to the floor, just warming up here. Cobra pose on your in-breath. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha on your out-breath. You're regulating the cadence of your breath so it feels smooth and really deep. Your inhales and exhales, an even pace. We'll just take the heat out of the hands there, light bend in the knees. We're going to walk back. Hands walk back toward your feet. Land your heels. Take an easy forward fold here, and we'll take our hands behind our back, interlace your fingers, and forward fold. So deep bend in the knees here, even pressure through all four corners of your feet. Letting your hands float away from your back any amount. Try and keep the heels of your palms nice and close together. It's a nice measure of how far you take them away from your back. And we lightly lift the shoulder heads up away from the mat so our neck can lengthen, our head can drop. And taking two more smooth breaths, not overdoing it, nice sustainable breath. Easeful and full. Releasing your hands now. Take your fingertips in front of you, and we're going to move into squat Malasana. Widen your feet away from one another. Turn your toes out, heels in. And come to sit on the back of your calves. And if that's not possible for your knees, or it feels really uncomfortable to flex deeply here, sit your buttocks back, weight in your heels, and just rest your forearms on your knees there. Just accommodating your practice for the body that you're moving with today. And if you're in full squat there, press your hands to your heart center. And imagine a wall behind you, your spine laying comfortably upright along the wall. Your buttocks sitting down toward the floor, your crown of your head lifting up, lengthening through your spine. And then release your hands to the floor. You're going to really slowly walk out to a plank pose, top of your push-up. Adjusting your feet, your hands. So you feel like you've got a nice long diagonal line through the back seam of your body. Press the floor away, make more space between the floor and your collarbones, and then widen and smile the collarbones open. Spread the architecture of your back. We'll take a deep breath in here. Push the floor away, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Stretch a little deeper into the heels. And of course bend the knees if you're feeling quite tight today. We're just trying to bring a little bit of space and openness into the body, so any shape that feels the most appropriate for you. A light bend in the knees, and look forward now between your thumbs. Walk yourself up to the top edge of your mat. And just placing your feet hip distance apart there. Hanging in an easy forward fold, you can catch opposite elbows or forearms. Knees deeply bent. And feel the weight of your body falling evenly into your feet from your heels to your toes. Feel free to take a little sway side to side. And then just sway back to center. Release your hands to the floor, hang in ragdoll. And pushing down through your feet, just really slowly rise up. Stacking all the bones of your spine, reaching your arms up and overhead, touch your palms and settle your hands to your heart center. Standing tall, lengthening your tailbone down toward your heels, lifting the front of your hip points up, engaging your abdominal core so you feel very centered around your midsection. Broad across your chest. From here, take a deep breath in, sweep your arms overhead, send your gaze up, tip of the thumbs, And as you exhale, gently fold forward, deep bend in the knees as you go, hands to the floor, Uttanasana. As you inhale, slide your hands up to your shins, keep a little bend in your knees and just use that leverage of your hands on your shins to extend and elongate your spine forward. And as you exhale, fingertips to the floor, lunge your right leg back for runner's lunge. When you arrive, lengthen your heart forward, breathe in. As you breathe out, work towards straightening your left leg, lifting the hips and folding forward over the midline of your left leg. As you feel yourself breathe out, right knee to the floor, low lunge, reach your arms up alongside your ears or pause for an extra breath. Light squeeze to your right buttocks. Left knee over your ankle, hands to the floor here, and stepping quietly back, downward facing dog. Ripple forward to your high push-up on your in-breath. Breathing out, knees, chest, chin to the floor or a full push-up. Land on your belly, gently peel up, Cobra pose as you breathe in. Firm belly, downward facing dog as you breathe out. Deep breath in together. Slow breath out, long and deep. Take one more round just like that. And taking one more round of breath just like that. Breathing in. Right foot steps forward in between your hands, coming back to that runner's lunge, fingertips framing your right foot, left heel reaching back, left thigh lifting, and then just pulse the hips slightly up, work towards straightening your right leg, pushing down through the big toe mound of your right foot, inner heel, folding forward any amount, keeping that long, unwrinkled feeling through the front of your body so you don't feel like you're really rounding and doming your spine. As you breathe in, just let the left knee fall to the floor, low lunge, arms reach up. Stay for your exhale, light squeeze in your left buttocks now. And then hands to the floor, stepping up, top edge of your mat. Feet can come hip width, take a halfway lift with that light micro bend in the knees, pull your heart forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale to rise, come all the way up to stand, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart center. And we'll do one more round on the left side, just moving one movement, one breath. Circle your arms overhead, take your gaze up, spot your thumbs. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, take that halfway lift, really extend, open your throat, look forward. Exhale, fingertips down, left foot lunging back, runner's lunge. Deep breath in here, heart forward and open. Exhale, pulse the hips, pyramid variation. Low lunge as you breathe out. Knee to the floor, arms rise. Exhale, hands to the floor, downward facing dog. On your in-breath, glide forward, high push-up. Take a modified version or full chaturanga, come to the floor. Cobra pose as you breathe in, chest forward through your arms, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Smooth breath in together. Deep breath out. And left foot's going to step forward now in between your hands. Help it along if it doesn't quite make it there. Runner's lunge. Breathe in. Pulse the hips up, straighten through your front leg. Low lunge as you breathe out. Right knee comes to the floor. Arms reach up. Exhale, hands to the floor, stepping up, top edge of your mat. Feet hip width, halfway lift. Breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out, empty your lungs completely. We're rising to stand, sweep your arms out, send your gaze up. And exhale, hands to your heart, settle your shoulders down, your gaze steady. Arms overhead, breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, just moving with your breath. Easy and full. Halfway lift, breathe in, look forward. Lunge your right leg back for low lunge now, right knee to the floor. And we're going to hook the thumbs, space the fingers, and sweep the arms forward and overhead. And with the hook of your thumbs, the spread of your fingers, feel your upper back widen. Draw the front ribs in so your upper abdominals are engaged. Feel steady in your feet, really stamp your left foot into the floor, back shin, and then just take a side bend to your left, any amount. Just a nice sustainable movement. Breathe in to your right side waist. Breathing out, lunge the hips forward a little bit more. We're coming upright as you breathe in, and we're going to take a side stretch to your right now. And funnel your breath into the left side ribs now. Make a little bit more space between each of the ribs. And then come back to center. You're going to tuck your right toes under and prepare for a high lunge if you need to before you lift. Left foot over in the left lane so your feet are hip width apart. When you're ready, right knee lifts and you reach up a little taller, elongating your spine, sideways. Continue to breathe deep. Find space in your body, a little bit more length. Can you breathe all the way up to your collarbones, back down to your belly? And then release your hands. Make a basket with your hands. So you're interlacing all your fingers above your head. And then send the basket forward so your arms are at shoulder height. We're going to prepare to balance here. So you're going to balance on your left foot. And you're going to try and catch your right knee in toward the basket of your hands. Reset if you need to. Catching your balance. And from here, a twist. Left hand stays on your knee, but your right hand moves to the small of your back. And just very slowly start to revolve your torso toward the right. So your right collarbone moves back in space. It might feel more sustainable to take the right arm out at shoulder height. Just balancing those opposite actions in your body. Stand a little taller. And then come back to center, hands to the heart center. And you either take your fingertips to the floor, we're going to step back for a spread leg forward fold, or step back via warrior three and then land lightly. Walk yourself around to the right. Spread your feet just a little wider and turn your heels out, your toes in. Take a halfway lift as you breathe in. Easy forward fold between your wide legs as you breathe out. Any comfortable position for your arms. Hands can be on your legs. You could take your peace fingers and thumbs around your big toes, or just simply touch down, fingertips underneath the shoulders. And feel the shape change of your breath in your body, where it moves in this shape. We've got 2 more breaths. Breathing in, lift up halfway, look forward, and then walk yourself around to your left foot. We're going to step back, downward facing dog. Pause here if you'd like to do less, or take a vinyasa if you'd like to keep moving. High to low push-up. And upward dog or cobra pose here, back bend of your choice. Take it slow, no urgency, no rush. Downward facing dog. 5 to 8 deep breaths. Balancing the effort between your arms and your legs. And softening the expression in your face. Smooth breath in together here. Look between your thumbs, light bend in your knees. Make your way to the top edge of your mat. Take a halfway lift when you arrive. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Rise to stand. Sweep your arms up. Spot your thumbs with your eyes. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Second side now, left side, arms overhead. Breathe in. Forward fold, breathing out. Nice rhythm to your breath here. Halfway lift, breathe in. Left foot lunging back, low lunge. Hook your thumbs, reach your arms, breathe in. And stay for your out breath, finding comfort, sense of ease and steadiness. A light squeeze to the left buttocks, the base of your glutes there. We'll just take a side stretch here. Keep the hook of your thumbs and just lean over to your right side. And then come back to center. Feel the height of your spine tall through your low back, and then lean over to your left. And we're coming back to center. And tucking your left toes now, preparing for high lunge. There's no rush. Right foot can move over into the right lane a little. And when you're ready, raise the left knee, engage your left thigh, reach up, get a little taller. Proud across your chest, your breath smooth and deep. And then change the hands there, interlace all your fingers so you make a basket. Hands interlocked above your head, and then take the hands forward. Shoulder height, catch your balance. Left knee in toward your chest, into your hands. Reset if you need to, there's no rush. Stay patient. And then take a twist from here. Right hand stays on your knee, left hand to the small of your back. And begin to revolve to your left. And this time the left collarbone moves back in space. You keep that broadness across your chest. And you keep stamping your right foot down so you get a little taller through your body and your posture. Left arm can reach back. Eyes can shift back. And then coming back to center, hands to prayer at your heart center. And you can go via Warrior 3 or just fingertips down. We're going to step back into a spread leg forward fold. Left foot finds the back of your mat, and you walk around to your left to the long edge of the mat. Fingertips underneath the shoulders. Take a halfway lift and a forward fold that suits your body. A little bend in the knees if you need to. If you've got two straight legs there, try and firmly engage the front of your thighs. And lightly tip forward from your heels to your toes, searching for sensation through the back of your calves, your hamstrings. Feeling of ease in your upper body as your spine cascades down. And letting your breath wrap around your upper back, the back of your skull. Nice feeling of softness, calming the rhythm of your breath. And releasing your fingertips to the floor if they're not close. Halfway lift, breathe in. I'm going to walk around to our right foot and then step back, downward facing dog. Vinyasa if you'd like to keep flowing, a rest, a pause, if you need to do less. Full breath in your back bend. And a deep breath out, let go, downward facing dog. 5 to 8 deep breaths here. Pause if you need to on your knees, with your buttocks to your heels. Really try and prioritize a nice full breath, even on the inhale, even on the exhale. Maybe experimenting with closing your eyes. So you turn your gaze in, away from distractions. Really feeling into your body. One more deep breath in, looking forward between your hands. At the end of your exhale, bend the knees, travel to the top edge of your mat. Feet can come together here or hip width apart, a halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale and fold. Inhale, rise all the way to stand. Send your gaze up, stand tall. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Let's pause, a couple of extra breaths. Find your equilibrium through your feet. And centering your attention on your body, your breath. And as you feel yourself breathe in, arms sweep up overhead, gaze up. Dive forward, Uttanasana, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in deep. Fingertips down, runner's lunge, right foot lunging back. Pause here. Take a long enough stride there so the left knee lands over your ankle. Keep your right hand down. Let's take a very simple twist, left hand to the sky. If it doesn't bother your neck, send the gaze up and see if you can spot your left thumb with your right eyeball. Gently opening up in your twist without overly rotating through the pelvis. So conscious of the rest of your body that you can't see. Abdominals lightly engaged, right thigh lifting. One more deep breath in. Exhale, left fingertips to the floor. We're going to come into a low lunge, right knee to the floor, arms sweep up alongside your ears, you're facing forward. And then as you breathe out, take your hands behind your back, interlock all your fingers. We'll take a deep breath in here, really opening your chest, lifting your heart, sending the fists down. And we're going to transition into a high lunge and fold forward. So again, with that right knee down, you can move your left foot over into the left lane before you lift up. And then when you're ready, right thigh straightens, right knee lifts. And then we're going to fold forward. A little bit of a balance there. Arms can float away from your back any amount. So you can draw your heart forward, lightly tuck the chin in. So you feel a nice long line of energy through the back of your skull to your tailbone. Stay steady in your feet. Easy in your breath. Return to your low lunge. Release your hands up alongside your ears, right knee to the floor. And then we're going to take our fingertips down to frame our left foot here. And then from here, we're going to slide the left heel back along with the rest of the foot. And we're going to take it quite close to our right knee. So your left knee will come forward of your ankle. And we're going to keep the fingertips on the floor forward toward the top edge of the mat. And then just gently lean forward so you're looking for sensation through the back of your heel. And try to avoid this posture if you've got too much pressure on your knee or it feels awkward or uncomfortable. Just close your eyes here, relax the back of your neck, your jaw. And taking one more smooth breath in and out. And then take your left hand to the back of your left heel, and we're going to step the left foot toward the top edge of the mat and set up for a hamstring stretch. So from here, once your left heel reaches the top of your mat, flex your toes, peel the foot off the mat, draw the hands back, your weight back, to straighten out through your left leg. And just eyeball your left kneecap, make sure it's pointing toward the ceiling, and you can see that your quads are engaged but your knee isn't locked. There's a firmness to the front of your thigh to access a nice safe stretch down the back of your hamstrings. Left toes are curling up toward the ceiling. And then with your fingertips on the floor, start with your left foot, just wave it over to the right side, and then shift the foot over to the left side, as if you're doing a really nice slow wave with the sole of your foot. And then include your hips. So as you move, you just start to sway the hips along with your leg. You might be able to feel nice stretch down the IT band through the outer seam of your leg. Just notice what you can feel. And then just slowly come back to center. Roll forward onto the sole of your left foot. And then step lightly up to the top edge of your mat. Take a halfway lift when you arrive, no rush. Forward fold on your out breath. Rise all the way to stand on your in breath. Hands to your heart on your out breath. Take an extra breath. Breathe in deep. And breathe out long. Arms circle up overhead. Breathe in. Dive forward over your legs as you breathe out. Halfway lift, breathe in. Lunge your left foot back, runner's lunge. Pause for a moment. Find your footing. And then keep the left hand down, taking your right arm up toward the ceiling. Reach your fingers energetically a little higher toward your ceiling as you press into the left hand. So you have a rebounding energy coming up the left arm. Left thighs lifting in space. You're gently revolving and twisting. Feed your breath into the lungs, the side waist. And then right hand to the floor. Low lunge, arms reach up alongside your ears. And transitioning into the shoulder stretch, hands behind your back. And you can interlace your fingers in the awkward way, if you'd like there. Let your fists pull down as the shoulder blades slide together, lift your heart. And then if you'd like to, right foot can move over into the right lane as we transition into a high lunge. Left thigh lifts, hands stay bound there as you fold forward over the midline of your front leg. Crown of the head reaches forward. And try not to overdo it here or overwork. You're trying to find that balance of steadiness and ease in your body. Calm breath. And we release here. Hands release. Left knee releases to the floor. And hands frame your right foot now. We're going to take that funny calf stretch. We're going to slide your right heel back close to your left knee. So your knee and your heel are still hip width apart, but your right knee is going beyond your right ankle. Fingertips stay forward just to support yourself. And then as you lean your weight forward, you tip it forward, you'll find a nice light stretch through the back of your heel. And avoid it if it doesn't suit your knees. Not all the shapes are appropriate for all bodies, and you're just trying to find an openness, increase range of motion in your own body. And then from here, right hand comes to the back of your right heel, and you just place your right heel back to the top edge of your mat. Then walk your hands back, Ardha Hanuman, half monkey pose. Right leg straightens out, and your right toes curl back toward your face. Push out through the balls of your toes as the toes curl back. And then elongate the front of your body over your front thigh. And keeping a little micro bend in your right knee if you need to there. And one more deep breath in. And exhale, roll forward onto the sole of your right foot. Place your hands down. We'll step quietly back, downward facing dog. And we'll take a vinyasa here. Roll forward, high push-up. Stay strong, long in your body. Low push-up as you breathe out. Come all the way down. Cobra pose as you breathe in. Perhaps coming up just a little bit higher. The legs are engaged. Chest is feeding forward. Exhale, child's pose. Keeping the knees down. Swim your buttocks back toward your heels. And rest down in between your thighs. Comfortably rest your head. Close your eyes, tune in. And just feel the shape change that occurs as you breathe and your breath slows down. And we'll take 2 more smooth breaths. And just very gently gliding up. We'll make our way down onto our back before you recline. Grab your block and your belt. Maybe an extra layer if it's getting a little chilly for you and we slow down in our practice. It's nice to layer up. As we come down onto our back, just hold your knees in toward your chest. Give yourself a squeeze, perhaps a rock side to side. Give yourself a moment to land in this shape. And then the next cycle we'll take is bridge with a block. So we're going to start with the block on its low, flat side. And if you don't have a block and you've got a book, I'm hoping it's quite a large book. Nice, big, thick, long read. We're going to place the block or the book underneath your sacrum, the back of the pelvis. So you try not to let the book creep in and pinch on your low back spine. Just find a really nice, comfortable spot. And it might not feel like a really big back bend for you, and that's okay. We're just trying to empty our weight into the support of the block so we can fully relax. We can open our chest without any effort. So setting the feet up hip distance apart, so your toes are pointing forward, and just sliding the block underneath your sacrum, arms alongside your body. And you might need to just shuffle around to spread the skin in your upper back so you don't feel like any one place in your back feels abrupt or wrinkled. And then just enjoy this very mild back bend. The chest is opening. Your eyes can close. And then there's a very subtle action of, without moving your heels, you get the feeling that your heels are moving back toward your shoulders. And as you do that, just notice how the base of your glutes and your hamstrings will really engage. And the back of your body is supporting and holding the front of your body in this shape. And just notice now if you can breathe a deeper breath with your chest open. And sending your breath into the parts of your lungs that might feel a little harder to get to. Trying to breathe into the full circumference of your lungs. Now you might like to stay here, and particularly if you've got a paperback underneath you, if you do have a yoga block or brick, you can turn it up onto its next side, that narrow side, and place it again in that really comfortable, manageable spot in the sacrum area. And then just settle in for a few more breaths, relaxing your weight into the support of the block. And just feeling like you can breathe into all three parts of your lungs, so the bottom, the middle and sides, the top of your lungs. And we'll take one more breath here. And then pressing down through your feet. Lift up a little way so there's a little bit of air between you and the block, and then just slip it out. Come down nice and slow as if you're trying to press each vertebra back down into the mat. When you get down to the low back, flatten out through your low back. And then release the knees in toward your chest, little rock side to side. Notice how you feel. One last cycle, and this is a lovely one to finish off for your low back spine. It's Supta Padangusthasana cycle, or reclined head to knee pose, and this is where you'll need your belt. So we're going to loop the belt if you've got a buckle there. And we're going to keep the edge of the strap very close to the buckle, so you make it as long as you possibly can into a loop. And then we're going to take the belt around the balls of our right toes, and keeping both knees bent. At this stage, your left foot on the floor. Catch a hold with both hands around the belt. Level out through your hips, tall through your spine, so you're just very elegantly long and you're straight through your spine. And then very slowly start to extend your right heel up toward the ceiling as you press into the belt. And find your expression of the pose. So it may be that your right knee stays a little bent there. And ideally, you just bring your elbows down toward the floor. Hopefully you've got enough extension on the belt there so you can comfortably relax in your upper body. I'm going to pause here for a few breaths so you can take the time to really tune in and find where your edge is. And beginning to slow your breath down so you can take longer, deeper breaths here. And this whole movement cycle is very helpful for realigning your spine, relieving low back pain, because as we move through the cycle, we create a traction in the low back, which can relieve compression and tension. And also doing it on the floor allows you to safely elongate the back without stressing your vertebra, because the floor supports your back and it prevents it from rounding. And we'll take one more deep breath in here. And we're going to place the belt into our right hand now. Left hand's going to come to the top of your left thigh, and you're going to keep your left knee bent. And then from here we start to externally rotate our hip, inner thigh, by taking the right leg out to the right side. Don't feel like you need to go all the way over. Just try and keep the activation of your toe balls pressing into the belt there, your upper body staying relaxed. And as we take the right leg out to the right, we target the adductor muscles through the inner seam of your thighs. And this can often help address any asymmetries in your pelvis and your sacrum. And often tightness in the groins and the inner thighs is accompanied by low back and sacrum pain. So this stage of the cycle is especially beneficial if that's what you ever experience. And then from here, take the belt into your left hand, and we're going to come all the way back up. And now, keeping the left knee bent, I know you probably want to straighten it here, but we're going to keep it bent, left foot stamping on the floor. Take our right foot over to the left. So right leg crosses the midline, it's in front of your left thigh, and we just come over, say halfway. Usually we'd roll all the way over, but we're just sort of coming halfway here. And then just do this very subtle thing. Turn your right toes down toward the floor and turn your right ankle up toward the ceiling. Then relax through your upper body. Have enough length in the belt so you can. And keep your neck nice and neutral here. You don't have to turn it into a twist. Just searching for sensation down the outside of your right leg. And we'll take a deep breath in. As you exhale, we release, come back to center. Now from here, if your belt is nice and long, this might work for you. If it doesn't quite reach, not to worry. You can come into a half happy baby by just drawing the right knee down toward your armpit. Sole of your right foot would look toward the ceiling. If you've got quite a long yoga belt here, your belt is still looped, take the belt around the back of your head. So it's right in the back of your skull, and the belt just kisses the ears there. This one is a lovely one to gently traction the very top of your spine and your neck. So you can keep a bend in your right knee, and you're just pushing gently through the balls of your toes into the belt, and then you're letting your head rest back into the hammock of the belt. So your chin will naturally lightly come in. Make sure you're comfortable, your hips feel level. Maybe you can close your eyes here, your head, and your upper back will be hovering. And we'll take 5 more rounds of breath, wherever you are. Happy baby or a neck traction. Oh, there's my dogs. Sorry about that. It's not very meditative. Once one of them barks, the other one barks, and it's like they're encouraging each other. They're like, let's do patrol. Yes, let's do the perimeter of the house. Hopefully they've quietened down. We'll take one more breath, sorry. Exhale, release. And we're just taking the belt off very gently, placing it to one side, over to your left side. And now what we're going to do is just notice what effect that cycle has had on the right hand side. So we just lay back in Shavasana very simply, arms by our side, both legs straight. And you might actually be able to feel or sense that right leg almost feels a little longer, maybe even a couple of inches longer than the left side. Lovely long feeling. And then we'll go over to the other side. So it's exactly the same cycle, hopefully without the doggies having a bark. We're going to bend both knees, and we'll take our belt around the balls of our left toes, keeping the right foot on the floor. Now take your time here. You've got about 8 breaths here to come and find your edge on the left hand side. So start to push through the balls of your feet into the belt. Start to extend your left heel toward the ceiling. And then try and relax the elbows down toward the floor so your upper body can really relax. And then we're just checking in. Notice where your hips are, and if they feel a little out of alignment, notice what you can do to just balance out there. And for most of us, one side of our back is often a little bit more dominant, and that creates asymmetries and distorts our posture sometimes. So this whole series of postures encourages symmetry and balance. And we're also trying to balance our awareness between the two legs. With the lifted leg, it's common to seek all the sensation and turn our attention there. And the real benefits come in this pose from the proper, and the real benefits from this pose come from the interplay between the two legs and the balance through the hips. So just spread your awareness. And then keeping your right foot on the floor, your right knee bent, we're going to take the belt into our left hand now. Left leg moves out to your left, any amount. So you don't want to overdo it there on the inner thigh. No, I always feel really quite tight here. And the very simple action of kicking out through your left heel can exaggerate that stretch without actually moving further over to your left. And notice as you take the left foot out to the left, whether or not your right buttocks has lifted up, or you've thrown your balance out there across your hip points. And then see if you can relax your jaw, really release your tongue and your mouth. Even soften the corners of your eyes so it feels peaceful. And then shifting the belt into your right hand, we're going to come all the way back to center and then take your left leg over to the right in front of your right thigh. And then turn your left toes down toward the floor, your left ankle up toward the ceiling. Just search for a stretch there outside of your left calf. Full body awareness, nice slow deep breaths. And then bring the left leg all the way back up to center, and either making your way into a half happy baby on this side, or if you'd like to take the option, taking the belt around the back of your skull. So we try to avoid putting it on the back of your neck. You really want it on the very back of your skull there so it frames your ears. And left knee will quite possibly be bent there, but as if you're stepping on an accelerator, you can just put a light pressure into the left foot. At the same time, release the back of your skull into the belt. And take a moment to just scan your body, what the rest of your body is doing now, if there's any places or pockets of your body where you can let go of any restraint or gripping. going to take one more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Catch a hold of the belt and just slowly release yourself all the way down onto your mat, belt to one side. Extend your left leg out straight and your right leg. And hopefully now that your both sides feel quite balanced, you feel a little longer in your body, so you can sit a little taller, you can breathe a little deeper, you feel more spacious. So just staying in this posture. If you haven't already, turning your palms face up to the side of your body. Make any final adjustments. And just when you're ready, let your eyes gently close. And let the weight of your body melt down into the mat. Just taking a natural breath in. And an exaggerated out breath, pushing all the air out of your lungs. Feel the expression soften across your face. And let that gentle feeling cascade down your neck and your shoulders, your arms. Sense any feelings in your palms, perhaps some tingling, some warmth, or coolness. Feel the gentle movement of your breath, your precious breath sustaining you. Letting your low back release and spread. Letting go of any gripping in the buttocks, your pelvis and your thighs. And let that gentle feeling travel down your legs. Notice the heaviness in your heels. Notice the edge of your toes. Fully present in your body. In this moment. And then slowly, slowly drifting your awareness back. Take a slow stretch out through your body, wriggle your fingers, your toes. And when you're ready, just bending your knees, taking your feet to the floor. Resisting that temptation to rush, just rolling over to your right side. And just savor these last moments of your practice. Dragging yourself all the way back up to sit. And thanks so much for joining me on the mat. Hope you have a wonderful evening, day, or week ahead of you. Namaste.